Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. Today, here I have Tabbypears and Riker from Tech World. And Tabbypears may not be able to stay for the whole episode because his throat hurts, but at least he'll be here for the beginning, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, I have COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I'm getting my COVID-19 booster on Monday.
I have not got my booster yet.
Yeah. Alright. So the first bit of Apple news is that Apple is to soon release Room Plan, which is an app to create 3D maps of rooms using the LiDAR sensors on iPhones and iPads. This app is currently in beta. What do you guys think about that?
Finally,
it's gonna be another thing with the LiDAR sensor that nobody uses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like nobody used the LiDAR sensor before, and they're still not gonna after.
You know, honestly, they should just remove it, make the camera smaller.
Yeah.
The only use I see for the LiDAR sensor is, this feature could be nice for maybe planning out where furniture would look good in a certain room. That's the only use I see for a LiDAR sensor so far.
I tried that, and it looked completely virtual. There was no reality to it.
It's like, even with like the Measure app, even before I still don't have a phone with a LiDAR sensor, but it's like, if you really want to measure something, you wouldn't be using a Measure app. You'd really want to be getting a real measuring stick and stuff.
Yeah, because you can't trust LiDAR.
Funny enough, I've actually never heard anybody reference that as a measuring stick before. Alright, so the next bit of Apple news is a bit unsurprising to you guys, but iPhone 14 cases have leaked. And they're basically exactly what we've been hearing all this time.
Well, it's good. And that's good because I'm going to buy a 14.
Same here.
I might too.
Dude, I've had, in the past 2 weeks, I've had like 5 13 Pro replacements. I took my 13 Pro in for a SIM card issue. Right, the SIM card reader itself died. They repaired it, and of course they mess up every repair they do. Don't let Apple near your phone with a screwdriver because they will mess it up. Then they replaced that. The replacement had a big scratch through the screen. They replaced that. This replacement unit, I took it home, thought that it was good. Turns out there's major back-end issues with the motherboard, and there's a big dent under the screen. So I gave that to my dad, and he gave me his 13 Pro, which is graphite 256 instead of silver 512. And this one works, but I just have to get away from this phone after this year.
Yeah, and by the way, I just wanted to mention that this is not the first time we've tried to have Riker on this podcast, but the previous time that Riker was on this podcast, we both had corrupt recordings, so we essentially couldn't publish that.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah. Does Tabbypears, do you still think the iPhone XS is the worst iPhone ever, or do you think...
Yeah, because I'm
goes to the 13
square to
Pro?
you. So, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. The iPhone 7 versus the iPhone XS. A lot of people say the 7 is worse, but the percentage of iPhone XS's that were affected by issues is more than the 7, but the 7's physical number of units affected by issues is more than the XS's. This is because the 7 sold many, many, many more than the XS. And I only used a XS for the ending part of its lifespan. I didn't have a XS until July 2019. And I can only imagine the issues that I had with my XS Max from July to December 2019. If I had a XS, like I had my 13 Pro, October through, September, I would have had way more issues. It's guaranteed.
Yet again, Riker has had no issues with his iPhone XS, but his sister has.
Well,
Yeah.
is he, Tech Talks?
He used to be Tech Talks, but he rebranded his channel to Tech World because he legally had to change it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
watch
what-
WWDC, they like announced a Tech Talks thing. It was funny.
My issue is the tennis series will always get issues. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but eventually. You know, I understand all electronic devices will, corrode and stuff after time, but no. The tennis, short term, there's going to be a lot. This phone is going, and Apple says they care about the environment so much. There's going to be some massive stuff around Apple in the environment whenever all these phones start going out. Because right now, we're only seeing the start of this. There's going to be way more of these devices just going out and breaking. And Apple's not going to announce it. But we're going to know. We're going to know because Apple's going to stop bragging about their eco-friendliness whenever all this happens.
And Tabbypears, do you actually remember back when you said in an earlier episode that if Steve Jobs were still president of Apple, that they wouldn't be so obsessed with the environment?
Yep, because Steve Jobs, he made some announcements about it, but yeah.
I was actually going to tell you that Steve Jobs made some announcements about it, but
Huh?
I was actually going to tell you that Steve Jobs made some announcements about that.
Yeah, he used to make some announcements on like the Mac Pro and whatnot, but
Why does Apple care about the environment so much?
because
It makes them look good.
political affiliation, and they like to cater to that so they can have their investors keep investing.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's making them a whole lot of money.
I mean, Apple just became a $1 trillion company in 2018, and now they're almost a $3 trillion company.
Yeah.
But back on the whole thing about how you don't like the XS, I think Apple knows they did that with the iPhone 6 as well, and that's why they discontinued it so fast.
I mean, Apple discontinued the XS so quickly, and you see this pattern, how the XS was considered the best iPhone by some people, and it makes no sense, because the best iPhone is always going to be the latest iPhone, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't get why people say the best iPhone is some old phone. And at this point, I'm getting more happy to the point where I'm getting happy where the iPhone XS is going to be 4 years old. It is going to be, old enough to go into kindergarten soon. So I'm just glad that this phone's going to be obsolete in another year or two. That this phone is going to be something that is basically useless. More than, I'm glad, because I don't care if they start breaking or not. I'd rather just see this whole entire phone go to shambles after the stuff I've dealt with, regarding this phone. And then I'll see people calling me biased. And it's like, the phone came out in the best year of my life. So I can't be biased against the phone for when it came out. And 2018 was an amazing year, right? And people still say, you hate the phone just because this and that. And I'm like, I don't care. I used a 10. The 10 was my favorite phone for, all of 2017, all of 2018. And let me say this, all of 2019 too, because I saw no use in upgrading to the XS until I got one for free. Of course, I didn't really have a 10, I don't believe. I had like an S9 Plus and a Pixel 3. I'll be right back, though. I gotta go do something now. You guys can keep talking.
Alright. So, and even Alpha Day Wolf still says that even though the iPhone XS is amazing because of its cleaner camera modules, he still thinks that the 13 Pro Max is still better, and I'm hoping that he'll think the 14 Pro Max is better, but he currently hates the ugly eye hole.
I don't mind the eye hole. I never mind the notch. I literally don't care. Yeah.
Alright, so the public betas for iOS 16, iPadOS 16, macOS 13, watchOS 9 just released.
Yep, I actually do have it running on my iPhone 8 right here.
I don't have any betas on my devices, and so this is one that I want to kind of keep talking about until Tabbypears gets back, because I want Tabbypears to get in on this too. But the Apple Watch Series 8 Pro, the Pro Apple Watch that they're going to rumor to release, that's rumored to start at $999.
Well, I don't care about how much they make that watch cost, because I'm not going to buy it.
Yep, do you think AirPods Max are overpriced? Do you think that the Mac Pro wheels are overpriced? If you think even the Pro Display XDR stand is overpriced, you are very wrong.
Yeah. I know it's inexpensive for the watch. Yeah.
To be fair, people used to pay several $1,000s for a watch.
But the fact that they aren't even going to upgrade the chip in the normal Series 8, that means they're going to not have the same chip in a $1,000 watch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Watches should not cost as much as a phone.
Well, unless Apple decides to acquire Rolex or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if Apple should maybe acquire Rolex to help them make the Apple Watch Pro.
Yeah, they should not spend time buying small companies like Dark Sky, and they should buy Rolex or GoPros or something.
Do you think that Apple could even buy Microsoft to effectively kill all Windows computers for good this time?
Yeah, if they wanted to ruin their competition, they could, but I feel like they're like, oh, we kind of need the competition.
If Apple did, however, Apple might get sued for being a monopoly if they decided to buy Microsoft and then announce, okay, we're going to drop all support, there will be no more security, we're going to brick all Windows computers effective immediately, so that way everybody will buy a Mac.
Yeah, that would.
Even though I just feel that... What do you think would happen if Windows were to suddenly completely disappear?
Well, I think yes. That would, I think, fix the whole gaming problem, because I bet more developers would be like, oh, we have to develop games for the Mac because that's like the biggest company.
Yeah. I think everybody would probably switch to Chromebooks.
Yeah. On the cheap end, if they're spending a lot of money, they'd probably go to the Mac, though.
Yeah. If you're broke, I recommend you go buy a Chromebook.
Yeah, it's the school gives them out.
Because they're designed to be less powerful than Windows. As Windows will never work. Windows is the worst operating system ever made, no matter what people say. Even Aaron from the Yellow Penguin, even though he has all sorts of YouTube videos on his YouTube channel about Windows, he still hates it as an operating system. Jordan Riddles from the iPhone Fan also hates Windows, and he uses Windows every day.
When I was in elementary school, they always had those computers on Windows 7 because just Windows 8 was terrible, and then so they just kept all these computers on Windows 7.
When I was in elementary school, for kindergarten and first grade, the computers were on Windows 7, though they later upgraded them to Windows 10 when I was in second grade. And that caused the computers to not be as reliable.
Yeah, I think that's why most of them are just on Windows 7, because they know that works the best.
Even though now Windows 7 is becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
Though hey, at least Windows 7 gains me my channel growth.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because you know how popular my Windows 7 videos are.
Yeah, I don't know why they... Oh, that was weird.
Probably because Windows 7 is so nostalgic to people.
Yeah. I bet if I made an iOS 6 video, it'd blow up.
I've actually done iOS 6 videos before and they haven't blown up. And I even did an XP video once and that didn't blow up.
Huh, that's weird.
Because XP is considered to be one of the best, even though I consider it to be one of the worst. But to be fair, I hate every single version of Windows because it's unstable, it never works.
I'm back. What's up?
Riker and I were just talking about what would happen if Windows were to suddenly completely vanish.
Well, a lot of businesses would shut down. A lot of places would be unable to operate what they do. There would be a lot less outages in the world after that, though.
Okay.
And Apple would get even more money. And Linux would probably be a viable option.
I think everybody would, however, just buy a Chromebook or a Chromebase or everybody would go to a Mac.
Oh, another thing, Bill Gates would be working for your company in 15 years.
Yeah. Bill Gates is currently 66, so he'll probably be retired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bill Gates is probably getting ready to start. Bill Gates is probably thinking about retirement now.
Yeah, he's an older dude.
Yeah. I mean, he founded Microsoft, and I think he still owns it.
Yeah, I think he still owns it. You know, I don't understand that. There's, different... He didn't give up ownership, but he gave the CEO to some weird dude.
He just still has, a lot of shares in the company and stuff.
Yeah.
He owns a lot of the
Why would
stock.
Bill Gates give up his own company? He loves to make money. I mean, he even decided to buy a knockoff of another operating system and call it MS-DOS.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's start. The previous piece of news that I was waiting for you to get back for was that the Apple Watch Series 8 Pro, the Pro edition of the Apple Watch, that's going to start, rumored to start at $999.
Oh, well, it's a smartwatch. It's going to last someone 2 years before it becomes obsolete. Why would it be $1,000? Is it going to be, sapphire with ceramic?
It has to be. It better be. If it actually is, then I will buy it.
My watch, I've got the stainless steel Series 7 right now, and I will say this, I don't trust the sapphire, but it is not horrible. If I look at it right here, there is one scratch on the top left, which is very small and hardly visible, but under the right lighting, it is there, and it's been there for months. I got this in December.
Did you know Apple actually discontinued the Sapphire option?
Oh, they did?
Yep, it was too expensive for everybody.
When?
Just like how Apple will probably discontinue the Mac Pro.
Good. When did they discontinue Sapphire?
I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna discontinue the Mac Pro because they're gonna have an Apple Silicon one.
I mean, I don't believe they're gonna really make an Apple Silicon Mac Pro. I just think it's not in their best interest to do anything with that computer anymore. I think they've given up on... I think Apple has given up on professionals. I just think...
Sadly. Yeah, sadly.
Apple is a complete consumer-based, consumer-focused, consumer-only company at this point, and professionalism has been flushed down the toilet, and professionals have also been flushed down the toilet.
Literal. Yes, this is why. I'm curious if this will start to reflect in Apple's stock so much that tech will be able to buy Apple.
The only reason I
care professionals, and I'll say this, after using the 14-inch MacBook Pro, that is the worst professional device I've ever used. And I don't think that under any circumstances anybody should buy a 14-inch MacBook Pro. I think that you should either buy a 16-inch or buy a Mac Studio.
don't think they're gonna I think they will make a Mac Pro because they said that at one of their events that they have one Mac to go.
I think they did. I think they had to. I think they were working on one, but then discontinued it but then couldn't because in the March keynote, Apple, there were still Mac Pros in the room that they were showing, but now those Mac Pros have been replaced with iMacs and Mac Studios. And Mr. Who's the Boss actually tested how many Google Chrome tabs a Mac Pro could handle versus a Mac Studio with the.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Chrome tabs are, for all intents and purposes, the worst way to test a computer's performance. You know, because I work on. Let me think. I'm pretty much a professional in video editing and audio editing. So I'm in those two categories on, my Mac. And I do more, but those two categories made me hate the 14-inch MacBook Pro a lot, just using it, because the display size is horrible. 14-inch should have never been a display size on a MacBook Pro. It's not portable at all. I'll say this. I came from a 16-inch MacBook Pro thinking this would be more portable. No, it's not. I'm pretty sure they're almost about the same weight.
Yeah. You and Alpha Day Wolf are starting to share the same opinions now.
Yeah, and then I know I said that I didn't like the touch bar, but I'd rather have the touch bar than those keys at the top, because...
Oh, me too. I actually just uploaded a YouTube video about...
Yeah, I have notifications on all that. But I'll say this. The function keys should have been half height.
Yeah, they're too big.
They did this for one reason. I know why. So that people wouldn't complain about there being room for a touch bar. And making the function keys full height screwed up a lot of things, because this made it so that people can't, blind people, it makes people, with hard vision or blind people.
Yeah, like you.
Well, I can see fine short distances. It's long distance that's hard, but it makes, people who have a hard time seeing, I don't know how to say this, so I'll just say, it makes them not be able to feel where the keyboard starts, really, because there used to be, a physical representation, which was the half-height keys mean you're at the top of the keyboard. Then, they've been doing this crap since 2016, because then, in 2016, they made the, the arrow keys all the same size too. Well, actually, kind of, but not really. They did make the up and down key different, but Apple claims to care about accessibility so much, but they do this stuff on a constant basis.
Yeah. Apple should really stop caring about accessibility for all these rare conditions, and because I know that I'm going to offend a lot of people for saying this, but how common do you think any of these accessibility features? How many people do you think these accessibility features that Apple's rolling out will actually help?
Yeah, but what I will say is I don't mind them having these features as long as they have a dedicated team to these features that know what they're doing and aren't going to pull any funny business. And then, on top of that, I don't want Apple to do any accessibility major updates, because everybody can see an OS redesign, only a group of people can see accessibility issue fixes or whatever. And then they shouldn't put accessibility first and foremost on this setup screen like they do on the Mac, because how many people are going to use that?
What do you think about this, Riker?
Well, and I think if they want to do the accessibility, like the new features that were in iOS 16, the accessibility features, like most of them don't even support like all the iPhones, because it's like if you want these accessibility features to be used to the masses, you should at least let it be used on iPhone 8 and iPhone 10s. You can't even use like the new ones that came out into iOS 16.
No, I think they actually limited it to 12 and up.
Really?
Like the AirPlay Apple Watch to the iPhone. That's only 12 and up.
Yeah, it's like, why are these people doing this? You know, because obviously accessibility-focused people aren't going to, you know, go and buy a new iPhone every year. They have more important things to worry about in their life. So why is Apple just doing this? Because I'm becoming to the point where I believe that Apple doesn't care about anybody except for their stock investors.
Exactly.
And I understand Apple would care about their stock investors most. That's who gives them the money. They're a business. They're not out to make people happy. They're out to make money. But how many of their stock investors are going to be able people, and how many of them are going to have various disabilities? I'm just putting this out there. Not a lot of them are going to have disabilities. Most of them are going to be fully able people.
Yeah.
Or whatever the term that I'm supposed to use is, I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to get canceled on Twitter and go to Twitter jail again for saying that, but...
Able-bodied is the proper term, so...
Yeah.
Do not cancel Tabbypears on Twitter. He hates being canceled.
I got canceled on Twitter too many times for you.
Cancel me, I'll block you ASAP.
I wish I was canceling me. I'll just say, what's wrong with you? And then I'll be like, you've got to have some mind to try to cancel me for something I don't care about. And then I'll block them.
Yeah.
I tried canceling my friend once. These people just make me laugh at this point.
Alright, so... Oh yeah, so speaking of accessibility, I'm sure all our mothers are going to be proud of us when we buy our Apple cars. Because guess what we'll not have?
A steering wheel.
Nor pedals.
Oh, I didn't know that, but...
And that's something that I will never purchase, then. I bet you're going to need to have your iPhone, to use the CarPlay feature still. Or maybe your Apple Watch. That would be cool if they brought CarPlay, like CarPlay Lite, to an Apple Watch.
Yeah, and...
Think of that.
Also, how is the... And I think the only reason why Apple is kind of becoming more political is so that way the government is going to actually approve the Apple car to not have steering wheels or pedals, because currently that's actually illegal.
Yeah, what I will say is... I have a feeling the government's going to change a lot in the next election following these past couple years and people in the general acceptance rate of current guidelines and laws and legal representatives, or not legal representatives, government officials, I guess I should say. So I do think that's going to change. Mostly, just due to people's acceptance rate on government officials at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think that Apple might want to just go neutral right now, so nobody can get mad at them.
Yeah, exactly, because Netflix's content began getting more political, and now they're in deep financial trouble.
Oh yeah, all these companies that go political get into issues. I mean, have you seen how bad Twitter went? Wait.
Oh yeah, I've seen how bad Twitter has gone, and I've also seen how bad Disney has gone.
Oh yeah, all these companies that get political. I don't get political. People try guessing my political statuses, and it's like, if it's one of my close friends, I don't care about talking about politics, but if it's online, I won't directly say what I believe in and what I don't. People can try guessing. I have no problem with that, but a lot of the people are going to get it wrong because they don't know how I am in person. They don't know how I act towards my close friends. They don't know how people are completely different on camera and off camera. It's like people have a lot of personality on camera, but people can have no personality off camera. And I get that, or it can be the opposite way around.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why Top Gun Maverick did so well is because it wasn't very political, and it was just like a movie that It didn't have like anything to do with like the outside world with LGBTQs and politics and stuff.
I didn't realize that until you actually just said that. It was a great movie. It was a very good experience to watch. They didn't put any political bias in there. And I just kind of realized maybe that's the key to having people like subtly enjoy things, not getting political with stuff. Like,
yeah,
isn't it?
Exactly. I need to go see Top Gun Maverick because I haven't seen it yet, but that's mainly because I haven't watched the original Top Gun yet.
I didn't watch the original one, I don't think. I just, me and my dad went out to watch it probably about 2 months ago almost.
Yeah.
Movie.
Again, Top Gun Maverick probably wouldn't have done well if it got political, because, I mean, it's a sequel to one of the biggest blockbuster films of all time.
Yeah.
But let's stop talking about Top Gun. Let's start talking about some more Apple news.
Yeah, like a bunch of telescopes and whatnot. At the Jewish who would say.
Yeah. Alright, so there's some new MagSafe three cable colors, which are specifically Starlight, Midnight, and Gold with white ends.
That's okay. Yeah, it was kind of weird,
Cool.
But they have white ends, which are weird, and these are new cables that are shipping with the new MacBook Air. Oh, people are getting those now, by the way.
Yeah, I want one. I'm thinking about getting one.
I think they're cool and all, but I'm gonna wait at least maybe another 6 months until I decide what computer I want to use.
Yeah, I won't be getting a new Mac because I don't have the money to.
I have a good way of getting I would have a good way of getting this computer because I could give my mom my M1 MacBook Pro. Then I could trade her MacBook Pro in, which is an M1 2020, and I could get about $650 for that. So I would have to get my MacBook Pro repaired first, but if Apple doesn't mess anything up, it'll only take about a week.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was talking, and so you know how we constantly talk about on this podcast why people want good battery life on battery life on iPhones?
Huh?
You know how we constantly talk about this battery life on iPhones on this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still, even after using an iPhone SE3 for a bit less than a week, I still do not see the need for battery life. Because I was able to get my full day of actual real-world usage with 30% battery left. And it's like I don't see any why would somebody need more battery on a phone?
What does Riker think about the battery life on iPhones?
So, mine's 10S. It can easily get me through the day. What the noise is that?
That's just some weird noise that it makes on Tabbypears' end. It happens.
Oh, okay. Well, so my dad has a 13 Pro, and it can easily last him 2 days. Sometimes he has to like go to he has to drive out of state sometimes and come back. But like sometimes he forgot his charger or whatever, and he can come back without you can survive like 2 days without a charge.
Yeah, I mean, I'd used 10% 5% battery a day on his 13 Pro when he had it. Well, he has another 13 Pro now, but this 13 Pro I have 95 charge cycles, and it was the launch model phone used every day on, since it came out. 95 charge cycles, and it's been, 300 days since it came out. It's got 97% battery health, though. I don't know how he did this. I've not been able to get any iPhone under 100% battery health except for a 12 mini, so it makes no sense why this thing's so low. But I mean, pretty cool, I guess. It's a working iPhone.
Yeah. I guess the only reason why people want better battery life is to not have to charge it. But let's be honest, that really doesn't make good sense.
Yeah, because if you have a fast charger, it'll only take you, 30 minutes to get up to 80%, like 2 hours to get to 100, so...
It isn't the olden days anymore.
And just plug your phone in overnight. You shouldn't be on your phone all night anyway. Just take a break from your phone and plug it in. Go read a book. Go outside. Do whatever,
Yeah. I can even admit that people are obsessed with their phones these days. I can even admit I am a little bit more obsessed than I should be, but we need to just take a break one of these days and just enjoy life.
Yeah, like, to stop thinking that they need the best battery in phones, when the truth is, they need to spend that money getting themselves a detox from their phone, rather than getting themselves a phone with a good battery.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not... Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm out on the road, I constantly see people on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
And it's illegal in my state, and you get a $900 fine.
Yeah, I've seen these stupid people going, back a few years back, someone was on their phone, smashed into my family's car, and I had no idea what they were doing. Made no sense.
And so I'm guessing they had to pay a huge amount of money.
Insurance covered most of it, but look, the phone was smashed. It was like a 6S Plus 8 mess. It was rose gold. It was smashed. They went flying. Funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I'm guessing he had
Serves
to get a
him
new
right.
phone, but he probably couldn't afford it because he was busy paying you guys, your family, money.
Oh, and that car was totaled too. It was leaking.
Yeah, like, everybody's so addicted to their phones nowadays. They actually have this phone company. There's actually this phone company out there called Light, which basically makes a phone that is designed to be used as little as possible. You guys should go check out their website. It's pretty interesting. However, wait until you see the price tag of it. Good or bad. Just go on the Light phone website. So check what that do.
Oh no.
It's lightphone.com. Yeah. You should just go on their website to see what it's designed to do.
Alright, it's geeked out right now. Let me.
Oh wait, I think I saw like a jerry-rig everything on this phone.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it.
How much is it? Okay.
Yeah, go on the website. Just scroll down. It tells you.
$300?
Yep.
I mean, for what it is, it would be, a decent phone for people that just don't want to mess around with phones.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't want to be too addicted to your phone, you can get the Light phone, but I still think $300 is a little much, but...
Yeah, their website is horrible, though. It won't even let me scroll down. Yeah, it won't let me scroll now. It just froze up. People need to fix their websites.
Yeah.
You could get an iPhone for cheaper than that, so I bet that's why that people would just be like, oh, I could just get an iPhone for cheaper, and yeah.
Yeah. If you got, yeah. So for people who claim they're too addicted to so if you're too addicted to your phone, maybe go buy the Light phone and just see how it is. I won't buy it because I'm not addicted to my phone, and also I don't really want to spend $300 on it.
Yeah, I mean, what use would it be to us, since we already have telephones. So you can't have a big old landline phone around.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Alright, so... I've actually got a repair on one of my gadgets that I need to troubleshoot to you guys.
What's up with it?
Have you guys seen my my video that I published on Tuesday about my iPhone clamshell?
Nah, I haven't
Not
been
yet.
on YouTube that much. I saw your video on you reacting to your first YouTube video, and I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, I watched that one too. And I have the touch bar thing you posted today in my watch later.
Yeah. Alright, so basically what I was managed to do was you would have to go watch the video because it wouldn't be clear enough to show on my podcast, and also I can't turn on my video or else it'll mess up the recording. But what basically happened was I was getting open to test out how hard it would be because I was going to do an airport upgrade on it. And maybe even see if you're going to do a RAM upgrade.
What about a RAM? You're playing with a Dodge Ram vehicle?
What?
Said something about playing with your car?
No, he said it's something about a RAM upgrade.
Oh, I thought he was talking about a Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram. No, they're not that kind of RAM.
Oh, yeah.
But what's managed to happen is Ford now won't go back in and a lot of keys are falling off it now. So the keyboard does still work, but I've tried numerous tutorials. This is, I think, the first ever iPhone clamshell to have this issue. And I can't just buy a replacement keyboard because I haven't found any. The only repair shop that sells one that I've been able to find is located in the UK.
Oh, wow.
You try sending it to an enthusiast.
That was the only solution. iPhone does still work. It runs macOS. But
I'd say the best idea is probably to find an enthusiast, and if you can have that enthusiast, I guess, give you some sort of, like, if you can get it with PayPal, so that, there's like a money back guarantee or whatever, then I think that you're good.
yeah. Well, I could take it to my local repair shop and see what they say.
They'd probably say, "Where did you get that thing?" And they'll probably think that you're joking.
They repair my 2010 Macro Pro.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of considered usable. But what up there is just kind of considered well, to be completely honest with you, just kind of considered vintage rarity.
Because, like, the clamshell was old in 2010.
And don't even think about asking me if I can get another iPhone clamshell. The answer
Those are hard.
no.
Those are hard.
iPhone 2 Gs.
Yeah.
Actually, they're worse than iPhone 2 Gs. Even worse than black MacBooks.
No, don't say that on Twitter.
Why shouldn't I say that on Twitter?
In case you'll get canceled.
I've only gotten canceled on Twitter actually once.
By who?
That was by Twan Nugan, who runs the new YouTube channel Mr. Who's a Sus.
Yeah. Well, what did he try doing?
He tagged my account to the canceler bot, and so I blocked him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because he's been following me for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so what do you guys think about the Nothing phone?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea and concept. I probably will never get one, but yeah, I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a nice computer. Or phone, I mean.
I think the Nothing phone is also going to have sales. Zero sales.
I don't see that, because
I think it's gonna fail.
in the U.S. maybe, but in the U.S. most phones do fail.
In the US, however, they're not even selling it.
Yeah.
But I think the major issue with the nothing phone is that it does nothing. It does nothing that's actually appealing to people.
Yeah. I mean, the lights will be appealing to some people.
But that's just a gimmick. That does nothing.
But I mean, technically it does do stuff because it tells you your battery percentage.
Yeah.
That's on charge.
Why would you do that when you can just look at the front? Because yes, that phone does tell you the battery percentage.
I have a perfectly valid reason for that. Because some people like to keep their phone down, face down on a table, to prevent people going and snooping through their notifications.
True, but
I mean, I understand, having lights on the phone isn't the most, I guess, easiest thing, or the most effective way of doing it, but it's definitely something that people will buy just for the, social appeals too.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tell Us of Text video on that? On the Nothing phone? Have you watched Tell Us of Text video on the Nothing phone?
Yep.
I haven't. YouTube stopped recommending me Telos of Tech, actually.
Oh, wow.
You should just search up Tylos of Tech and subscribe to him again.
Yeah, I don't think that YouTube likes him. For multiple reasons, I'd say.
I wonder why YouTube doesn't like Tylos of Tech.
Probably because he called them out on demonetization.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I wish YouTube demonetized me back in the day.
Back when everybody could get monetized.
Back when it was 10,000 views, I had my application in to get monetized, and the night after, like overnight, I woke up, my friend said, YouTube changed the monetization rules, and I was just like, oh man. And, yeah, it just kind of really annoyed me, made me not want to make videos, but I dealt with it.
How dare people make money off of YouTube?
Not even that much. Paying people like $1 every 1,000 views. Of course, that's still like $200 that I would get, right? Yeah, $200 exactly. I just hit 200,000 views today.
Yeah. I really regret not turning on ads on my videos while anybody can still get monetized.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely a way that you could get a good amount of money, but for now, until our channels are a lot bigger, it probably wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
However, when my channel gets bigger, I know one thing I will never do. I will never have a sponsor.
I would have a sponsor if it's like a good sponsor. Like, for example, if like Mouse, the case people, try sponsoring me, because I know their products, I trust their products.
What if Meta sponsored Alfred to sponsor one of their videos?
No.
I would say, as long as you're not doing anything fishy, and as long as you fix your company, come back to me whenever your company's better, and I'll gladly come again. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, actually, comment this down below. Would you ever have Meta sponsor one of your videos? I will. Does Riker ever plan on having any sponsors?
Only if it's a sponsor that I use actually like right now. So if Apple sponsored me, which I know they wouldn't, I would say yes. Or if like Mint Mobile did, I would say yes because I actually use them.
Yeah, I got Mint Mobile. I got a SIM card from one of my friends, but T-Mobile's just better for me since I'm on a family plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, has your parents hooked up your phone yet? Have you been able to experience cellular data?
No band. Even so, I probably won't use it.
It's unfortunate.
I've got some great news about the Nintendo Switch, though.
Oh,
let's hear it.
The Nintendo is finally going to release a later Switch later this year.
Oh, nice.
a real pro one?
Yep. Which is good because did you know that the graphics in the Nintendo Switch are so old that the predecessor of the graphics in the Nintendo Switch's predecessor, like the graphics that precede the ones that are in the Nintendo Switch, those graphics were used in the Zune HD from 2009.
What, the Wii U?
No, the graphics in the Zune HD are the predecessor to the graphics used in the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, NVIDIA Tegra's been around for a while.
Yeah, so that just goes to show you how much they're really being Nintendo Switch Pro.
Yeah, they've never had like good graphics or ever like the Wii and stuff. They didn't have good ones, but people just liked it for the games.
And I mean, now there's finally Nintendo Switch ports. I think more people are going to want to see the Switch.
You're right back.
Alright. So this is again
Keep
news.
talking, by the way, gotta do something.
Yeah. So, did you hear that BMW is going to start selling heated seat subscriptions for $18 a month?
Oh, I think I actually heard about the news article, but I didn't look into it.
Yep. And BMW cars I don't really have good experiences with. Because my family had two BMW cars. The first one my dad got back in 2015, late 2015, or mid 2015 actually, and he had it until late 2017. No, I think he got it in July or August 2015, and until November 2017, December 2017. And the first one, I remember just pulling out. My dad and I were trying to pull out of the Publix once, and the car wouldn't start at all. And then in August of 2018, with my dad's second BMW, which he had between November 2017 and I think, March 2019, that BMW, when Dad and I were trying to pull out of a Flying J, Dad and I were on a Flying J, and we were going to pull out, but we were like, no, and that was pretty frustrating, because luckily the first time it happened, it was a Friday night, so I didn't really need a car then, but the second time it happened, it was on a Thursday, so I wouldn't need a car for school the next day.
Oh, I have a little... So, about the Nothing phone, how they're adding lights and stuff, what do you guys think if Apple removed lights from the back of their phone? AKA the flash.
I would be pissed off because even if night mode is better than flash, people still use the flashlights on their phones, including myself, for navigating around their houses at night.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I use it for. Also, I did not expect you to say that, Gary.
I don't know.
I did not expect you to say
I feel like they would just make the screen turn on white whenever you want to use the flashlight.
Like the Apple Watch?
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems like the next big Apple controversy to remove.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or the charge port.
Yeah.
Nah,
Except for,
I
I think EU kind of ruined that.
Yeah, the EU ruined that, because the EU always does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was talking with Riker about this earlier when you were gone, and I wanted to kind of get your opinion on this. BMW has started selling heated seat subscriptions for $18 a month.
Oh, come on.
Yes. There's too many subscriptions nowadays.
Yeah, like, you gotta pay, like, I mean, all these people gotta pay these money to, to live or something.
Yeah, like my mom pays an Instacart subscription. She pays subscriptions for 1 million streaming services.
Yeah.
That's Milo.
Yep.
In the background. And so, there's too many subscriptions out there. That's why my mom doesn't subscribe to Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music's probably the one subscription I keep forever.
Yeah, even though my mom buys a lot of stuff on iTunes.
Yeah.
Does
Sadly.
Riker think there are too many subscriptions out there?
Yes, I do. I wish you could buy, like, Disney Plus forever or something like that. Right now I use Spotify, but if I could, like, Spotify forever, I'd use it.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so now there's a new scam that we have to address on this podcast.
Yeah.
So, there are YouTube videos where the sponsors are actually malware.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yep, this scam has so far been found in at least 80 videos, according to a report by Lyron C. a YouTuber, on Tuesday, July 12th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, don't ever trust YouTube sponsorships, as he says in the title of it.
I mean, I don't know why people are downloading crap from YouTube sponsorships. That don't make sense.
Yeah, who
YouTube,
actually listens to the sponsorships on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, Lyron Segev put in his title on his YouTube video, "Don't trust tech YouTubers," in the title, because a lot of times it affects tech YouTubers. And the next bit of tech news, and so, what do you guys think about this new scam?
What's that?
The
Malware scam?
Yeah.
I think whoever made that is a very smart person, but I don't think they should really be allowed to go in public after that, because that's something that's probably creepy.
I was like, I hadn't heard of that until just now, but yeah, I think that's really bad.
I agree. Yeah. Alright, so this next piece of move is over 1 month old, though it's the first I'm hearing of it, probably the first that you guys are hearing of it too.
Alright.
So Roku and Walmart are teaming up to form ads where under Roku you can purchase the items that are being advertised directly from your Roku.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of that, but
Do you guys think this will succeed or not?
I think so.
if you have a Roku, it will.
Because, I mean, I know Amazon's going to adapt to this quickly, but I think Roku is going to... I don't know what Roku will do, because, I mean, Roku loves ads.
They do?
Yeah, their players have ads on the home screen. Not as bad as on the Fire TV, but still pretty bad.
Yeah. These ads need to get away. Ads on a home screen? Seriously?
They need to make a law against that.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
Samsung TV's got ads in the weather app.
No way, really?
Yeah. No, Samsung TVs have ads in the menus. Samsung phones have ads in the weather app.
Wow.
Like, go to change your HDMI, an ad.
This is what the EU should not be wasting time forcing USB-C on everybody or forcing side loading on everybody. Instead, they should be forcing laws on ads on home screens and weather apps.
Yeah.
That's what the EU needs to spend their time doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the US government, or anybody really.
Yeah.
Or the US government, or anybody really.
Just these governments.
Yeah, they don't realize that what we truly want is for there to be no ads on the home screen. We don't
Yeah,
care
and we
about
want,
that there's going to be
glitch-free experience.
We don't care that there are different devices have different chargers. What we care about is that there's ads on $3,000 Samsung TV home screens. So we change the HDMI.
Yeah.
And they didn't used to be like that either.
It's all updates.
Do you like ads on the home screen, Riker?
No, well, I don't like any ads at all, ever.
I
I
hate
use an
ads.
ad. It ain't illegal.
I hate ads.
Ad blocks are perfectly legal, and I will exercise my right to use them. because advertisements are messed up and there's a lot of scams.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the problem with TV ads, especially, is that they get so repetitive.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the holiday season, you watch TV, new HBO series, Christmas, then that same exact ad will play every single commercial, right?
And and ads, there's always an ad about McDonald's, the new food that McDonald's has a deal on. That's
the new food, aka the rebranded chicken nuggets. Been for the past 40 years.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever liked ads or commercials is when it's at the Super Bowl.
But the Super Bowl this year had some pretty bad ads, though.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Because there was the ads were just so bad because they were all for NBC and Peacock stuff.
What's Peacock?
NBC's streaming service.
Man.
Yes, NBC has one now too.
Everyone has.
NBC has one now too.
And yeah, the Super Bowl ads were just bad, and even when they were trying to be good, they just weren't good. So have you ever heard the movie Cable Guy?
Yeah, I have. That was my favorite ad.
Larry the Cable Guy?
No, it's a movie called
With
Cable
Jim
Guy.
Carrey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah,
What?
that's the Mater in Cars.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy was not an ad, but so Jim Carrey came back and reprised his role from the movie Cable Guy, and it basically proved that Verizon Internet was made better than cable internet. And yet Tabbypears made a YouTube video about why Verizon is a terrible company, and guess what most of it was about?
The internet was horrible on Verizon. Even though Xfinity is giving me some issues with outages lately, but not as bad as Verizon's constant issues every night.
Like Verizon's, Tabbypears stated that Verizon's internet would go out every day.
Yeah, every night it was. It was like 8 p.m. to midnight, and I would get most of my work done after midnight back then.
I know.
There was actually
I made that video like 4 in the morning. Like
the
years ago, like 2020. Yeah, it was like June 2020. I made that video. Fun video to make.
Yeah. And of course the Super Bowl show was not great either.
yeah.
I never really got into sports.
Yeah.
But Mint Mobile actually commented on the Instagram post of the Cable Guy or whatever, and it was Mint Mobile said the Cable Guy is a movie about a guy who signs up for something and immediately regrets it. Of course Verizon would use it for an ad.
Oh yeah.
That made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because everyone who gets Verizon regrets it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Yeah, are there any other good movies that you think Verizon would use in ads?
They'd probably use Toy Story because, all of their workers are a bunch of toys because they don't know what to do to fix the internet.
Yes. Yeah, they'd use Toy Story. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so, Riker, how did you get interested in tech and specifically Apple? I know I've asked you
Yeah.
before, but Tabbypears hasn't heard it, and
It never
the
got
rest
me.
of the audience watching this has never heard it.
Yeah, there's somewhere on his hard drive, there's just a bunch of never before seen clips of him and the iTunes fanboy doing a podcast. Just they got corrupted.
I actually deleted all that.
Yeah.
I don't keep my videos for very long.
Yeah, I always run out of storage if I keep them.
Alright, so, Riker, how did you get interested in technology?
2016, anyway, in gym, everybody would have like these iPods, and I wanted an iPod to listen to music to. So I was like, begged my dad, and then he's like, "Oh, what if we just get you like an old iPhone or something?" And so then my dad went on a website that it's like a Facebook Marketplace, wherever you can meet up with somebody and buy stuff. So he bought me an iPhone 4, and I mean back then it was only 2016, so iOS 9 was the main thing. So it wasn't too outdated, so I could download pretty much any game, and we got a bunch of songs on it.
4S?
No, it was a regular 4, so it was on iOS 7, but it wasn't like that outdated.
Yeah, I remember using a 3G when iOS 7 came out. Right, yeah, actually that was when I was 17.
My first iPhone was the iPhone 4S, which I got back in late 2013. However, that was not my first Apple device.
What was your first Apple device?
I mentioned this many times, but it was my iPad 1 that I got back in early 2011.
It was my iPad 1.
I don't have the iPad anymore because it died due to motherboard issues.
It's unfortunate. You should have kept it around for
In November 2013 is the month that it died, and I actually remember how it died. I remember I was once just in an app having fun, and the volume, I was trying to change the volume on it, and it just froze, and then my mom tried to go into the settings app to fix it, and then it just all crashed and never showed a sign of life after that. And eventually my mom threw it out.
That's unfortunate.
But I still have my second Apple device though.
The iPad 2.
My iPad Mini 1.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Didn't that thing have a cracked up screen at one point?
Oh yeah, it's still got. I need to get that fixed. It's been like that for 8 years.
How did that happen?
One of my cats knocked it down from where I used to store my iPads.
I bet you don't store them there anymore, or at least you don't think that's up there.
I don't think that service. My mom doesn't even. We don't even have that table anymore. Haley, my orange cat, just woke up and was like, "What is that?" Because she heard Milo, and now Beezus is coming.
Yeah, Milo's going crazy.
Milo too.
Milo's going crazy right now.
Orangey meows pretty loudly too.
Yeah, Milo's just mad because he's not woken up.
I can understand that. Riker, how did you get interested in doing YouTube?
Well, I just made a lot of Lego stop motions, and I just wanted to share them, and I was like, oh, YouTube is a great way to post things, so I started posting my Lego stop motions, and I didn't even post about tech for the longest time. Not until, 2020.
Yeah, Riker's old channel is called Riker Robson. There's multiple channels, but it's the one with the goose, and has a profile picture, and he even had a second channel, another channel that he ran with his siblings that went defunct in September 2020 called LOL Movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Alright, so do you guys want to start rolling out the outro now?
Yeah, we can.
Alright, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. We all hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'm Teddy from the iTunes Fanboy.
I'm Tabbypears or TabbyCat406.
And
I am Riker Robbins from Tech World.
And as always, we are saying peace out and stay tuned for next week when it'll just be me and Tabbypears. Because it's the last guest scheduled for now.
Alright, it was good having you on, Riker. Good being able to do this after a while. And hopefully I'll be better next week and things will be a lot better.
Alright, so...
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
See ya.
Alright, so bye everybody.